Welcome back to AM Northwest. Were the Golden Girls onto something when they decided to share resources under one roof? In this stressed out, overworked, disconnected time we're living in right now, why not build your own community? Here to share how, we welcome the author of Kin, Sophie Lucido Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You grew up in Portland, now you live in Chicago.
Yes.
So talk to me about your feelings on the Golden Girls idea.
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the Golden Girls in since I was a kid.
Okay.
But yes.
But you know what it is.
Sure,
yeah.
yes. I mean, the concept of sharing resources and being in one place or being in sort of small communities in a neighborhood, that's my bread and butter. That's what the book is about.
Yeah, so tell me what inspired you to write Kin?
During the pandemic, I was living with roommates and I got pregnant and then she got pregnant. My roommate got pregnant at the same time. We sort of thought that would be interesting, and it ended up being great because we were able to share information. And then when we have had 2 infants, it turns out it's like a lot easier to have an infant when you have 4 adults than when you just have 2.
Oh, sure.
And I wondered, are there things like this that we can add to our lives? Maybe it's not living with someone, but it could be as simple as figuring out how to share a lawnmower between 3 homes, or a Costco membership or something, or running errands with people that could help us develop deeper connections with friends and create family outside of our families of origin. And I wanted to research that and learn more about it.
Okay, so tell me, how did you do that? Because you grew up here in Portland.
Yeah.
You live now in Chicago, and I think sometimes just living in a different state than your family and far away from your family, it kind of makes you say, yeah, I think I need family here too.
That's exactly right. I mean, everyone needs family.
Right,
and
community.
Yes, absolutely. And it's essential. We're learning more and more. I mean, post-pandemic, we have even more data that shows that loneliness and isolation kill people.
Right.
More than anything else, more than alcoholism, cigarettes, obesity, loneliness. That's what's killing people. And there are ways that we can build community. You know, whoever you are, whatever your story is, there are lots of tools and strategies. And, you know, it's especially bad for people who live in Western countries. Community is a part of the human experience.
Right.
It's a part of our animal selves. And so we can borrow ideas from other cultures. We can also learn from each other. And I think these shifts don't have to be difficult. I think they can, you know, there's sort of this nuclear family versus move into a commune, take your shoes off, become a person who sings to the sun, and it could be somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Right.
So you talk about looking at your friends a little differently, like who could be a closer friend, who could be kin.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you suggest we do when we think about that? Because some friends are for this situation, some friends are for that situation.
Absolutely. And in the book, I am talking about all different types of relationships. The kin, I'm talking about people who are in between friend and family. So who are these people who are more than friends? You know, you can call them in the middle of the night and you know that they'll show up for you.
Absolutely.
But they're not your family the way we traditionally describe family. And that's that kin spot that I'm hoping for people to nurture.
Right.
And you probably have ideas in your head when I say that of some folks who spring to mind. And what my invitation is can you be more intentional with these people the way you are in a romantic relationship where, you know, you have a state of the union with your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You say, what are we doing? What is this? How can we commit to each other? We do vows. How can we have relationships that are that intentional and committed with our friends and really build? And a lot of that has to do with being messy around each other and allowing for vulnerability and asking for help and saying no, all things that are very difficult for us to do.
And having arguments and getting over them.
That's it, yes, the conflict. Mm-hmm.
So give me an example of something you've gone through where someone who was a good friend became kin for you.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of what is the best example. That pandemic relationship, of course, that became a kinship because you're living in the same house. And so you're sick at the same time. The house gets messy. You're having, you know, to make compromises around space. But I also have a friend from high school here in Portland who We started talking on the phone every day, realized we really loved and missed each other, and she decided to move to Chicago, and so she lives across the street now, which is really,
that's great. That's
really
so great.
And that showed, like, she sacrificed a lot, and so then that made me want to also make a lot of sacrifices for her, to just so that we could build a more. She comes to dinner every night, and I really love that too.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's the difference between hosting and integrating.
Right.
She comes in, the house is messy, I'm still cooking, my kids running all around.
Right.
We all eat together, and she cleans the kitchen. Oh my gosh, what
How
a relief
great
to have
is
someone
that?
clean my kitchen.
Yeah.
When I have to do bedtime, and you know, there's a million things to do after dinner. I love to cook, my husband loves to cook, and so she and her boyfriend come in, and we just make a little more food.
I love that. You know, you mentioned early on about different cultures having different words for close friends or kin.
Yeah.
And I love that aspect too. And every culture does have a different word for it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, English has the sort of the fewest
Like best friend,
striations.
close friend.
We have best friend, close friend. We have modifiers for friend. There are, in other languages, there are all kinds of words to differentiate types.
I thought there was one like in Japan. There is a word for that friend that you can take out that won't embarrass you.
Oh, that's French. It's sur table.
French.
Sur
French,
table.
yeah. And I thought that's really perfect.
Isn't
we have
that great?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have friends who
Yes.
you don't want to go out with them because they might embarrass
Oh my
you.
gosh.
The friend that won't embarrass
The person you bring to the party, because
Yeah.
like, isn't he great?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
sur
You have a
table.
book event at Powell's.
Yes.
Exciting. That's at 7 o'clock tonight
Yeah.
downtown. We're going to put all the information for everyone on our website at K2.com. The name of the book again is Kin. Sophie, thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Such fun.